I spent my 18th birthday writing an IOU for my surgery. My foster sister spent hers being treated like a princess, with gifts worth millions from the age of 10 to 18. My parents made me write a total of $299 IOUs. Every penny I asked them for had to come with an IOU, with the promise to repay it once I turned 18. Then when I got into a car accident and needed money for surgery, I found my account still short by $3,000. With no other options, I had to beg my parents for help. But they only sneered, "Veronica, you are 18 now, we have no obligation to give you money anymore. If you need it, write another IOU." With tears in my eyes, I wrote the 300th IOU. After the surgery, while scrolling through my phone, I saw my foster sister Angelica Miller's latest post in the photos. She was celebrating her 18th birthday on a luxurious cruise abroad, surrounded by people treating her like a princess. Her birthday gifts from my parents were a big apartment in the center of Hewlett and a brand new Maserati. Even my childhood sweetheart was looking at her with eyes full of adoration. She wrote, "Thank you to the people I love most for giving me the best of everything." I lowered my gaze to the crumpled IOU in my hands and suddenly laughed. Once I repaid my debt, I wouldn't need a family like this anymore. When I was discharged from the hospital and returned home, the house was empty. Even the cleaning staff had been given time off and left. The grand villa was dark and silent, so quiet that I could hear my own footsteps echoing through the halls. Yet I couldn't stop the wave of sadness and bitterness that washed over me. It wasn't the first time they had completely forgotten about me. Taking a deep breath, I slowly made my way upstairs. My legs were still weak from the recovery, so I had to hold onto the railing to steady myself as I climbed up to my room. It was the smallest, darkest storage room in this lavish villa. I barely owned anything, only a bed, a rickety wooden desk, and nothing else. I pulled open the desk drawer. It was packed full, stuffed with the IOUs I had written over the years. One by one, I counted them. With the one in my hand, the total was exactly 300. The amounts ranged from tens to hundreds of dollars, covering my school fees and basic living expenses added up. The total was less than $50,000. I let out a bitter laugh. $50,000, that wasn't even worth as much as one of Angelica's cheaper pieces of jewelry. No wonder my parents always scolded me for being petty and told me that Angelica was the real eldest daughter of the Miller family. I really was unworthy in comparison. Carefully, I stacked the IOUs together and tucked them into my pocket. Just as I was about to head downstairs, I heard voices from outside. "Dad, I want to eat the roasted fish that Veronica makes. Can you ask her to cook it for me? Veronica isn't as obedient as you. She's been getting rebellious lately. She didn't even bother attending your coming of age ceremony God knows where. She ran off to when she gets back. I'll make sure she cooks it for you." I let out a cold laugh. How ironic it was. I had told them I was in a car accident, yet my own parents didn't believe me. Instead, they assumed I had skipped Angelica's party just to fool around outside. They probably never even remembered that my birthday was the same day as Angelica's. I should have my coming of age ceremony too. The moment I stepped onto the staircase, the cheerful family atmosphere downstairs instantly froze. I was an unwelcome intruder, an outsider in my own home. My parents' faces darkened. Gone was the warmth and affection they always had for Angelica. "Why don't you turn on the lights since you are home? What on earth are you thinking?" my mother scolded impatiently. My father, on the other hand, simply ordered me around as if I were a servant. "Didn't you hear your sister say she wants to eat roasted fish? What are you standing there for? Go make it for her." To me, roasted fish was nothing short of a nightmare. I remembered it was my mother's 40th birthday. I had secretly learned how to make this dish, hoping to cook it for her that year. I was in the process of making roasted fish. I nearly cut my hand and got burned by the splattering hot oil, but when I finally brought the dish to the table, Angelica simply mentioned that she liked it. Mother did not even take a single bite. Instead, she placed the entire plate in front of Angelica. I could never forget the smug expression on Angelica's face as she looked at me.